Hey, hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, marketing, and sales goals too, with strategy and intention. Hey, welcome, welcome. We are on day 11 of the Content Honey conversation. Essentially, as you know, what I want to do is for 31 days, I want to check in with you and talk about some smart things that you can do to create content, right? On your social media platforms. Let's see. Hey, Stel from the Netherlands. Awesome. Thank you so much for checking in with me. Feel free to let me know who you are and where you are in this beautiful world today. Number one. Number two, tag your business besties, share this out. Sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. And of course, if you're catching me on the replay side, you can always drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. So we are on, I want to say the third part of this 31-day series. And I've been talking to you about the kind of content that you can create for potential customers, new customers, and previous customers too, right? Yesterday, let's see, I talked to you about for potential customers, working on the kind of content that helps them gain clarity and you build your credibility too, right? So that's the kind of conversation we had yesterday. Today, let's talk about those pre-purchase. After they've purchased, you've got new customers. What kind of content should you be producing for them, right? And I've got a couple of examples here that I want to share. So the first one that I've got here is from my annual event, right? It's an event? Yeah. I have to think about that for a second. This is my Fire Start Your Year annual event that I do every year in January. It's one of several of them. I also have this one right here, Spring into Action, that I do for the second quarter. So every quarter I have these workshops. I do them both in a webinar format for one day, and then I have a 3-day live event here in North Carolina. Now, I share this because one of the things that you want to be able to do is for new customers, create these experiences where they can work with you and essentially get a sense of what they should be doing now. So my Fire Start Your Year and my Spring into Action content is very much about, giving people a starting point as far as what they should be doing now, things that are trending, and how they should be moving forward, right? So I want you to think about that. And here's the big thing about this one in particular. Number one, not only do I do this live, but number two, it's a part of my onboarding process, because there are a lot of people who, when they do come to me, they're like, okay, what do I need to do to start? I just don't know where to go from here. And so they've signed up to work with me, right? And in the onboarding process, I'm like, okay, outside of what we do together, I've already got some content created for you. So I want you to watch this training on how to start your business online. And included with what you invested in, I want you to get access to my Fire Start Your Year training so you can get clear about some things that you should be doing now to move forward throughout the year. My Fire Start Your Year planner. These are things I do live, but then also because I always record everything, I'm a repurposed kind of a person, right? It's the kind of content that when I am onboarding new clients, I'm giving them instant access to this amazing goodness, right? To help them figure out where they need to go next as part of the experience, okay? So I want you to think about that. When you're creating the starting point entry-level products, these are things that you can sell individually, or you can attach onto an package and use as part of your onboarding process. Okay, so as I mentioned before, these are actually workbooks from my trainings that I do. I do these pretty much. I do a different training every quarter. Back to Business is the final quarter. Fire Start Your Year is the first quarter. Spring into Action the second quarter. So creating these experiences that my clients can have a starting point of reference in working with me in person, and then also being able to attach the replays as part of my onboarding process, number one. Number two, when it comes to starting points for your clients, one thing that I want you to do is I want you to think about your processes, your systems that work for you. Okay. This is important because when you have a new client, when you're working with a new customer, right? What kind of content should you be sharing with them? You should be sharing with them your processes, your system, your way of doing things, because guess what? They've invested in you and they want to learn as much as possible about how to BLY, be like you, right? And how to DIY, do it yourself like you do, right? So giving them your processes and systems is just a smart part of the process. So for example, I've got a few things here that I can share. This is one of my workbooks. It's the Money Magnet Workbook over at sistasense.com/magnet. It's a part of my How to Become a Money Magnet series, and it's a starting point. So there are clients who, just as I say, Sister Sense is all about helping you make sense of making money online, right? So when they come to me, depending upon what they need, if they're looking for clarity around, how I generated money online and the systems and processes that I use, this is something that I can say, okay, this is a good place to start. When they're like, LaShonda, I need to work on my sales. I'm like, I got you. I have the simple sales rules, right? And my simple system to sales, right? So these are things that I've documented, and I've put my processes, my rules, my systems in the forms of workbooks and simple guides that my new customers can take advantage of, depending upon once I start to work with a new customer and I get a sense of where they need the most direction and support, I can better say, okay, here's your ideal starting point, right? Some people come to me and they're looking for the visual. They need help with the web design. They need help with the graphics. Other people come and they're like, man, I have no idea what to do with content creation or sales, right? So depending upon, once I get a sense of that individual where they are, I can offer them some sort of starting point direction based on the content that I've created, right? So onboarding content, number one. Number two, my processes, my rules, my systems, putting them in these kinds of documents are really helpful for the clients that I serve. And the last thing that I will say when it comes to starting point conversations is giving people a sense of what they need to know, the terms they need to know, the resources they need to know, the topics they need to know, right? When it comes to starting out in the area that they need guidance and support around that you offer, okay? So, by the way, welcome. Those of you who are just checking in. Hey, welcome. Feel free to pop in. Let me know who you are and where you are today. Of course, if you are enjoying this Content Honey conversation, give me some content currency, right? Share this out. Sharing is what it's all about. And of course, you can tag your business besties. Plus, tap on the hearts and the likes, all the love. If you are enjoying this daily series, appreciate y'all for checking in with me. Black Trade Lines app has joined on the Instagram. Welcome to those of you watching me in Instagram land. Of course, those of you who are on the other platforms as well. Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the things, all the places. So as I'm checking in with you guys, as I wanted to say before, one thing I want you to do is to think about how you can really build credibility and share yourself as an expert by offering people a guide and saying, this is what you need to know when it comes to this kind of industry or whatever kind of area of expertise information you're looking to share. Okay. So let me give you an example of that. This is my last example for today. But here's one of my books, Online Marketing Made Easy. Right? And so there are lots of different types of online marketing strategies, right? There is blog marketing, there is video marketing, there is content marketing. There's a lot of different ways that you can market yourself online. So in this, number one, I share my methods to marketing, number one. And then number two, I define the different ways in which I utilize certain marketing strategies like video marketing and blog marketing, etc., as part of my online marketing agenda. Right. And so that's something that you can consider as well. You know, for example, I had a client who she was in the fashion industry. So the first book that she created, right, for her people were those customers coming to her and they were like, okay, well, where do I start with, getting wholesalers? Where do I start with, promoting my line, getting it off the ground, right? Defining the different processes and or terms that you need, like your own little Wikipedia, right? I mean, think about it. Sometimes we don't know what we don't know, and in creating these things, you will sometimes educate people on terms and define things that they're not even aware of, or you will explain it to them in a way that nobody's done before. So they want your resource, because sometimes you guys will go, well, people already know those things. Not everybody knows them. And a lot of people, they don't necessarily understand them still, because however way they're understanding the definition, it's not clicking for them, right? So there's always a space for you to share your unique voice and perspective in a way that, again, creates that content honey. So this is the kind of stuff that I say I definitely encourage you to think about. Are you creating these branded pieces of content for your new customers who are looking to you to define and explain different terms or processes and things that are important in your area of expertise, your industry, that they're not aware of? They're looking for you to define how you do things, right? Your unique rules, like my simple sales rules, your processes, like my money magnet workbook, things that you do specifically because they want to do it like you, number two. And number three, are they looking for you to create experiences where they can work with you one-on-one, get training from you, and in those experiences, you're directing them on their start here steps, right? Like my Fire Start Your Year experience or my Spring Into Action. This year for Spring Into Action, I did my 3-day workshop on how to start your business on a budget. And so people come to me and they go, LaShonda, what do I need to do to get started? And I'm like, go watch that 3-day. Go watch that 3-day training, because everything you need to know, I put in that 3-day experience, right? And so it's really a great new onboarding training for new people that have invested in working with me, right? So of course you can create these products as standalone, but then you can also package them together for the person who's like, look, I need everything. And you can go, okay, so everything that you need is right here in this thing. That starting point offer is a great recommendation from me to you as far as content that you should be creating for those new customers who've purchased from you. Hey, Sabria, welcome. So, all right, y'all, that's it for today. Tomorrow's going to be the last part of this part of the conversation, where I'm talking to you about recommendations as far as content you should be creating. Yesterday, we talked about potential customers. Today, we talked about, pre-purchase, post-purchase new customers, and then getting those previous customers to come back. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So don't forget, turn on your alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me, number one. Number two, hopefully you are in my community over on SizzleSense.com. You can go there, you can sign up so that as I share not only this series, but other series, you are in the loop. And of course, if you want to talk to me privately, you can always email sizzlesense@gmail.com. Plus, when you're on the sizzlesense.com website, you can click that gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. All right. So definitely want to make sure that you know what you can do to go and stay connected with me. Talk to me privately. Don't forget to turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm here, so you can jump on here live with me as part of this Content Honey 31-day conversation. All right, y'all. Hopefully you got some fire and focus today. Till mañana, go forth and do what you need to do to create your amazing too. Till then, y'all, take care. Mwah. Bye. Hey, Voss. Welcome.